Four things that clicked for me in my 40s. That's what I want to talk about today because you know how you get older, you change age, and everybody asks you, how does it feel to be XYZ? And you're like, it feels like yesterday. I don't know. Nothing happened when I jumped over into the new age. But the 40s, that 4 decade or so, that was the first time that I can legitimately say things clicked for me. Like my brain went, you're in a new decade, a new stage of life right now. And some certain things were illuminated for me, and I want to talk about them in this video. So hi, my name is Monique from Kingston, and I talk about all things life, midlife. Is 40s midlife? Hopefully not, maybe 50s. Come on, I live to about 100, as long as I can. Right. So, number one, the first thing that clicked for me in my 40s is that self-worth comes from within. Let me tell you, self-worth comes from within, not anything external, not your friends, not your job, not your boss, not your spouse, not your picnic them. You assign yourself self-worth. And it came in a very brutal manner to me. So let me tell you how this clicked for me. I did that with one man. I was in a relationship, and it was with what, these millennials will call a high value man. Is that the term? And it was my first time being with someone of significantly more stature than myself. And it was at a time when me did up on my face, as we would say in Jamaica. Me never have nothing going for me at the time. And so I'm with this gentleman, and I remember being afraid to like suggest places that we would go to or anything like that, because in my mind, I'm saying to myself, why the man I go carry me go them place here and me can't afford to go them place myself, So I thought it was it was a little cute to request to go certain places because I know that he could, but I couldn't. So, you get it beaten in your head that you're supposed to be 50-50 and equal value. And so you don't want to come off looking as any kind of digger trying to suggest these places that you can't take yourself to. So how you come about now suggesting these places? And so I literally became a little bit of a yes girl, like anything you want, do any place you want go. And I really and truly was afraid to speak up for myself in a lot of instances in that situation. And in my 40s, I suddenly started seeing that person as my equal, as a partner. I had them on a pedestal, and that pedestal was knocked right down in my 40s. I was like, me your size though, what going ya so? Oh, me comes see you in a one different light than myself. You're not better than me. That really and truly clicked for me in my 40s, that no one is better or worth more than. I allowed myself to feel small in that situation. And in my 40s, I was dating that person in my 30s. And in my 40s, when things don't match up and long gone, I was like, I can't believe I saw this person like that. Like, what? And so, yeah, in your 40s, you really and truly stop looking for outside recognition or outside value to be assigned to you. You start to assign value to yourself. You start to define yourself and your success and how you want to be seen, and you start to present yourself how you want to be seen. That clicked for me in my 40s. Hopefully it clicks for you sooner, because it's a shame for me to have to go through the 20s and the 30s. But they say a lot of us were finding ourselves in those ages and those years. Find yourself a little bit quicker than me. Now wait till you're 40 to realize that you assign yourself value. You hear what I tell you? And with that said, I'm gonna take off them glasses, yeah. Because or if you're not new here, I am not really and truly a makeup girly. And so I put the glasses on to hide the 40s Louis Vuittons under my eyes. The Marc Jacobs totes under my eyes. But look here. we're gonna roll with the natural face and everything, because I'm just not really a makeup girly, and we're gonna allow the natural face to shine through. I did change my hair, y'all. Do y'all like it? But yeah, if you find yourself like over explaining to, like, you know, show your value or your worth to people, if there are friends or relationships in your life where you beg them to stay, or you put out too much, or you're trying to show what you bring to the table, honey, let the table go. Move the table. You move the table out of my face. You will click with people who naturally click with you. Don't be over explaining yourself and trying to show your value and your worth to anybody because you feel like they should, you have to tell them why they should be your friend. Or no, don't do that. Don't do that. Which segues really nicely into thing that clicked number 2. Time is worth more than any currency we have in this world. In my 40s, I really and truly feel like, oh my God, I wasted my 20s. I wasted my 30s. I have so little life left to do anything that I want. And, you see the 20s and the 30-year-olds on social media living their best life. And you're like, oh, I wish I could go back and do some of those things. And so you realize that time is almost slipping away from you. And you really, that means you definitely want to spend your time a little bit more wisely in your 40s. That clicked for me. I'm not wasting my time. I am saying no. I'm not wasting my time on anything that I do not want to do. And that includes relationships, friendships, careers. Like, honey, I'm not doing anything for a dime these days if it's not something that I want to do. Because what did I say? You get to define your self-worth. And so if it is not something that I value intrinsically for me, I ain't got no time for it, honey. I ain't got no time for it. Yeah, in my 40s, I am investing in things that bring me joy. Like, not things that society say I should chase. I am not overworking myself right now to buy a house or a car or anything like that. I am spending time with my friends. I am absolutely making sure I am there for the people in my life who I love. My munchkin is at the top of that ladder. My parents, trying to make sure that I have, whatever time with them I have left. Listen to me. If it doesn't bring me joy, I ain't got no time for it. That's another one that I wish, if you are not 40 yet, you want to really meditate on that one day. Make sure that you get that one. We don't have a lot of time in this world. They say that the years are long, but the days are short, honey. The time, it go like this. And so make sure that you're focusing right now on only the things that bring you joy. And maybe you're in your 20s right now and the hustle culture is really bringing you joy because you're seeing yourself like climbing the social ladder, the corporate ladder, whichever ladder you want to climb. And, it's bringing you money and you're bringing you status and whatever. Just make sure that those things are really and truly making you happy. Like, do some journaling and consider if those things are really and truly making you happy. Spend your time on things that bring you joy. Don't be out there miserable because society says. Okay, the third thing that really and truly clicked for me in my 40s, health is wealth. For real this time. Because in your 20s, you're in the gym. I've always been a gym bunny. As much as I could find the time, the money, the whatever, I've always been somewhat of a health nut. But in your 20s, you're doing it so you look good in the clothes. You want to fit in the bikini. You want to catch a certain aesthetic or a certain man. In your 20s, health is wealth for, superficial reasons. In your 40s, you want to make sure that you can bend the knees. In your 40s, you want to make sure that you can climb the steps. Oh, child. Yeah, in that perimenopausal stage, what I'm talking about, this is when you realize that health is not about, doing all the fat diets to try and slim the waist. This is when you realize that you need to start actually looking at the supplements, changing up your diet for real, cutting out the sugar and all the sweet treats, the alcohol. Yeah, health is wealth. And as I said, I don't know if I'm in midlife yet because I'm really hoping to, maximize the little time that I have here on earth. But I don't want to get to 80 and can't wipe my own. You get what I'm saying? So if I want to get to 80 and I want to live, out loud still in my 80s, I have to start prioritizing health right now, and the real health, that internal health that's going to make sure that I still have mobility and mental alertness. That's the real health right there. Mental health, yeah, that's what I'm prioritizing right now in my 40s to hopefully get another 40 years out of this bad boy here, baby. In your 20s, you take your body for granted. Sleep? What is sleep, team? No sleep. In your 40s, if you ever try that, team, no sleep. Team, I need to be in bed by 8:30. What time are we going out? Team, if I go out on Friday, I am done for the weekend. Team, mama needs an ice pack on her knees because these are not Megan's knees. So yeah, health is wealth, but for real this time in your 40s. Health is making the right choices of what we put on our plate, because we know we're going to feel it in the bathroom or in the back tomorrow if we don't make those choices. And so the last one that I want to talk about is, I think I spoke about this a little bit in my last videos. You do not have to follow society's script in your 40s. A lot of us have the checklist of things that we should have done by now. We should have the marriage, the white picket fence, the house, the 2 cars, the 2 children and a half. We should have visited 10 countries by now. We should have this amount in our bank. We shoulda. How about we start counting those things that bring us joy? How about we start a new list? In your 40s is the perfect time to pivot your life, because you have certain amount of life experiences now that you can say, I don't actually quite like this career. I don't quite like that man, yeah. I don't like this education path that I took, and I want to go back to school and learn something new. I want to take up new hobbies. I want to travel. I want to move outside the country. In your 40s is the perfect time to look back and say, I like this, I didn't like this. More of this, please, less of this. In your 40s, you do not have to follow society's script of do this, by this age, and this age. And I think that is a beautiful thing to have clicked for me in my 40s, because it's never too late to change the path, change your life path and do something else and choose something else for you. And you're doing it this time completely happy within yourself, knowing that nobody else's opinion that you don't want to matters. So, if you are the only 43-year-old in your art class or your social studies class or your psychology class or your accounting class, whatever you want to do. I'm not going back to school to do nothing. But I thought the other day about becoming a flight attendant. I thought it would have been the perfect accompaniment to what I have going on in my life right now. And I thought that would have been kind of cute. A 42-year-old flight attendant just starting out on this journey. Like, nah, that's for kids. Who decided that? Who decided that? Who said that? Who said that's just for kids? Do whatever you want to do. Now is the perfect time to pivot and set up your life how you really want it to be set up. Because in our 20s, we were trying to set up our life how society or how our mom and dad and family and, all the other constraints. In our 20s, we were following somebody else's script. Child, it's time to take pen to paper and write your own. So I have one last thing for you. This is like a bonus one. This is something that I really and truly prioritize. I've always been like this, but it has gotten so much more of a priority in my 40s. Peace over drama. I have never been an instigator, but what I have become so much more of in my 40s is a see you next lifetime. Like, though I don't need you in my inner circle disturbing my peace if you don't line up with my values. In your 40s, you kind of really and truly start to realize who you've outgrown, who you need to let go, whose values don't really and truly align with yours anymore. And you start to leave the excuses behind where you're saying, oh, but we've known each other for 20 years. So your life paths did not align. So in your younger years, if you were the one to push every fight or so, or hold every grudge, Forgiveness and forgetfulness is another one that I'm big on too. Now, me forgiving you doesn't mean that this is an invitation for you to come back into my life. But in my 40s, I have like let go of a lot of grudges, and I've just been like, Selah, bye. Thank you for your time that you have spent in my life. Those were some beautiful years. I'm over here now. I've become like just so selective of who is in my inner circle, of who I spend my time around, of who gets to influence my life in any way. And so that includes even my social feeds. I've curated them because if it incites any kind of envy or anger, or like, I don't want to hear all this political drivel on my timeline. If that's all you push in, you have been muted. Like, I get it that the world is crazy right now, but because the world is crazy doesn't mean my life and my mental needs to be crazy too. So yeah, in my 40s, I am definitely prioritizing peace over drama. I have let go of like the need to be liked by everyone. And so, you know, those things that you might have done, any kind of errors or aura that you might have, any kind of affront that you might have tried to keep up in your younger years, you let them go. You just finally give yourself permission to be who you are, and to only allow the people in your life who are supportive. And I don't mean yes people now, because we all need people who are in our life helping us to all grow, because in our 40s there is still a whole lot of room to grow. And with that said, stick around, because there's more to this in my next video, or maybe my next video, I don't know. I have some things in my life that I'm still learning in my 40s, because now that you're in your 40s, it doesn't mean, oh, you finally figured it out. Oh, when do we actually figure it out? That is such a testament to the fact that life is a journey. It is cyclical. We keep learning, we keep growing. I am still on the path of learning. I have so much more to learn, but it has been a joy to continue to learn, to continue to grow. And I hope you will come back for my next video, where I talk about those things that I'm still learning in my 40s, so that we can all share and exchange in the knowledge. What clicked for you in your 40s? If you're over 40 and you know you can relate to anything that I've said, please share in the comments. Or if you have more to add to the conversation, what clicked for you in your 40s? And if you're not quite there yet, tell me if any of these you've already internalized, you've already accepted them. You're a boss. You are a boss if you have like learned some of these lessons already, baby, because it took me a bit too long to learn some of them, but I'm here now. I am here now. My name is Monique from Kingston, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.